Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not. All right, so we're going to look at past energy, current energy, and future energy. See what's going on, see what messages the universe has for you, and then the overall energy. All right, past energy, Queen of Wands. High Priestess. Current energies, Ten of Swords, the Devil. Future energies, Queen of Swords, Page of Wands. Overall energy, Four of Pentacles. All right, so past energies we have the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess. The Queen of Wands can represent somebody who's very busy, somebody who's very active, somebody who does things, right? Not only thinks about things, but does things. And then we have the High Priestess, which is listening to that inner voice and those inner feelings. And I feel like you were doing actions, that you were taking actions to listen to that inner voice. I feel like there might have been something going on with something, and you had that feeling that it was something that you had to take care of, because I feel like in this current energy we have the Ten of Swords, which tends as completions, and so something's coming to an end or has come to an end, but it's been really exhausting. And I feel like whatever this was in the past that you were dealing with, that you finally took action to listen to that inner voice and to take care of the situation. Like I feel like it was just something that you were feeling inside, and you're like, okay, I'm going to listen to that, because that's what you took action on in order to get to this point right here. Is this Ten of Swords. And then the Devil card, that's the Capricorn card, so that could be representing coming into your own strength, coming into your own energy. It also could be the end of a toxic relationship. It could be a relationship that you kind of felt bound to, a relationship that you felt that was not healthy for you, that's what you were dealing with back here, that you finally decided to listen to your inner voice, and you're like, you know what, this is not how I want to be treated. This is not how I want a relationship to be, or I've had enough and I'm done. And so you're taking those actions. You took those actions in order to move on from this toxic relationship. It could be a friend, a partnership. It could be with work, right? It could be a job that you weren't happy with, and you were just having those feelings with, and you're like, I'm just not happy. And you've decided that, okay, I'm gonna take actions. I'm either going to change careers, or I'm gonna move to a different job, or I'm gonna go back to school, or I'm gonna start my own business. Like, I feel like you're, if it has to do with work, like you are ready now to make those changes, that you've realized, okay, this is not what I want to accept. Like I was saying, this Devil energy could be whatever relationship that you feel was not fulfilling, and you felt that was not a good thing for yourself, that you moved away from that. And it could also be coming into your own to make those decisions to not accept those things that you are not happy with. Future energies, we have the Queen of Swords and we have the Page of Wands. So I feel like that's connecting with someone. Page of Wands is communication. It's talking to somebody. Text, email, phone, however you want to communicate with somebody. But that means you're communicating with someone to get past a situation, because I feel like the Queen of Swords is somebody who thinks about solutions on how to solve problems, and she's also someone who's gotten past a lot of difficult things, and this is definitely, I feel, something that has been difficult for you, and that you're finally moving past it. Like, you're getting into this energy, like I was saying before, if it had to do with a job, that now you're in this energy of, okay, I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to go in a different direction. And this future energy, whether this is tomorrow, whether it's next week, whether it's next month, next year, that you finally actually start making those connections, right? You start maybe putting out your resume, or you start researching what it is that you want to do, researching schools, researching businesses, whatever that is that you want to do. If it has to do with a relationship, that you're finally deciding that either you've moved away from the relationship, or you're like, okay, I'm going to talk with this person, right? You're like, right now, you're like, I'm going to do something about it. And then here, it's like, I'm going to talk to this person. I'm going to communicate better. I'm going to work through this. I'm going to voice my opinion and say what it is that I'm feeling. Whether it is you decide that you want to walk away, or you want to work it out, or you at least put your energy out there and you put that in the other person's court. And it's like, either you're working with me or you're not working with me, right? For overall energy, we have the Four of Pentacles, but I feel like that's making the choices that are best for you. And I feel like all of this energy, you know, it may be something that has kind of made you feel like you were kind of closing off to things, and that's why you're finally you're going to be taking actions to fix this, because maybe you're feeling like yourself, like you're closing in, like the walls are closing in on you, and you're like, I don't want to feel like this, and so I want to be able to be freer, and I want to be able to not feel like the walls are closing in, and what are those things that I can do to fix that? Whatever that situation is that represents to you, that makes you feel like the walls are closing in, whether it's a relationship, you know, however that resonates with you. All right, so the Queen of Wands, and we have the Magician, and that is taking things into your own hands, finding those solutions, finding those answers. He's got an owl on his shoulder, so learning those things, because the owl represents, you know, being very wise, very knowledgeable. He has all these books here, right? So if it's a career change, or if you want to go back to school, it's like researching that, right? If it has to do with finances, maybe it has to do with finances, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired of struggling. I'm so tired of living paycheck to paycheck. And you're like, okay, what can I do to change that? You know, how can I change that? I'm not going to accept that this is the way things are going. And then over here, it's like thinking about, you know, learning more things. It could be, maybe you start investing in the stock market. Maybe you start making a budget, you know, whatever those things are. Maybe you need to talk to an accountant. I don't know. But whatever that represents for you is that you're finally taking things into your own hands. You're learning those things that you can do to change this situation, right? So that you're not feeling boxed in, so that you're not feeling closed in. Maybe it's you want to buy a house, right? Or maybe you want to move, or you want to buy a car, and that's what it is. And so you're like, oh, I'm tired of feeling frustrated like this. What are these things that I can do to start to make this happen, instead of just sitting here waiting for, well, maybe one day it'll happen, but to actually take the actions to figure out the solutions to make it happen, right? To have that freedom. Sometimes we just have to be patient, and we have to work things through, and we have to figure out our plan, and we have to figure out what it is that we want to do. And so that way, if you feel like you're actually doing something to make something happen, it feels like you have it more under control, rather than just sitting there and waiting for things to happen. That's at least how I feel. That if I feel like I'm taking actions to do something about it, then I at least feel like I'm headed in the right direction. All right, Nine of Pentacles. I feel like it's kind of like those rewards of that Magician energy and those books. For some reason, those books are standing out, and I feel like that has to do with knowledge and learning and researching. And then I feel like it's those rewards of, okay, I feel like I'm doing something about it, like I'm figuring out my answers, right, with this Queen of Swords energy. And then we have the Page of Cups, which is, Pages is young energy, and it's those new feelings. It's like, yeah, now I feel like I have things under control. I don't feel like it's kind of just out there. I feel like, okay, I'm taking actions to make this happen, to fix this situation, whatever this, you know, maybe this toxic energy, or this relationship, or unhappiness with your job, or trying to, you know, get through finances, whatever that is. But you have this new feeling of feeling like you're in control, and that's a good feeling. Queen of Cups, emotions, feelings, feeling happy, right? Feeling like you're in a better state of mind because you have things under control. And it could be, like I said here, is that you're coming into your own and you're like, I'm going to take care of my situations. I'm going to take care of my problems. I'm not going to put that on anyone else. If I'm not happy in a relationship, I'm going to find ways to fix that and express myself. If I'm not happy in my job, I'm going to find ways to fix that, to change that, to, either make it better or move on, If I'm having financial problems, I'm going to figure out a way in order to fix that. And that makes you feel like, yeah, like I'm coming into my own and I'm taking control of situations. All right, making those decisions. Sometimes we have to make those tough decisions, right? When it comes to, okay, if you're leaving a job that you've been in for a long time, or you're leaving a relationship, or maybe before you didn't speak up in a relationship and now you're like, I'm going to speak up, and kind of making those decisions and choices, right? Things start happening for you. I love this card, even though it's the Five of Pentacles, where it's that temporary hardship and it's like feeling like you're alone. But I love how this card is depicted, because that coin is falling into this person's hand. Like you can see the way the motion of the coin is. And it's like things are falling in. For me, I feel like this card says things are starting to happen for you. Things are starting to fall into place for you. And I feel like that has to do with finances, because we have the Pentacles. The Pentacles is falling into that person's hand because you're reaching out. And I feel like the reaching out could be this knowledge, right? Because we have the hands here of the Magician. And it's reaching out to gain that knowledge to make things better on your own, right? That it may be temporary hardship, but then because you've researched and you've done these things and you work through things, that things start to come in for you. Whether it's finances or it's just that feeling, those feelings like you have things under control, like whatever that is, I feel like that starts to come in for you. And this is this future energy where things start to happen because you've taken these actions here to make this happen, right? Seven of Wands, and you're standing up for yourself, right? You're making those choices that are best for you. You may have all of these other wands that are coming at you, but you're like, hey, I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to deal with this. I'm going to make those tough decisions. I'm going to communicate to who I have to communicate with. I'm going to learn what I need to learn. I'm going to stand up for myself because this is what's making me happy. This choice, this work that you're doing here is what's making you happy. And again, like I was saying, with the Four of Pentacles, it's like making those choices that are best for you so that you're not feeling closed in, that you're not feeling boxed in, that you're not feeling trapped, because that's not a good feeling when you feel like you're trapped in a situation, right? That could be what this Capricorn card is you're feeling like you're trapped in a situation, however that represents for you. But then here, you're working through that, right? You're going through those feelings and those emotions and those decisions and those choices to work through that. Because you're standing up for yourself and you're making the choices that are best for you. You're talking to who you need to talk to and you're figuring out the solutions. All right, bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. I love that. So the King of Pentacles is someone who is very good in business. He's patient, he's dependable, he's loyal, he's kind. I feel like he's someone that doesn't just react to things right away. He kind of thinks things through, right? That he kind of figures out those solutions. He thinks things through and then he works through it. But he also realizes that things are going to take time. Things are going to take time to work through that. And I think that's very important for this process, to realize that it's going to take some time to work through this. But to know that you are making forward progress and that things will be coming in for you, that things will be happening for you. But to know that that's what's on its way. And again, that could have to do with business, starting a new job, a career, or could have to do with money and budgeting, that kind of a thing. I feel like that starts to fall in place because you're taking actions to make those changes. All right, so let's close out. That one just wanted to come out. All right, we have Peacock Spirit. Let it shine. I feel like it's, it's time for you to shine and to come into your own, right? And like I was saying before with the Capricorn card, is like you coming in to your own where you're taking control and you're making the decisions that are best for you, that you're not leaving that up to someone else to do. You're not letting someone else influence you, right? So you're shining because you're researching, you're gaining knowledge, you're taking actions, you're feeling better, and you're shining, right? And that's, I feel like that's part of the rewards of, you know, this Seven of Wands and then this Five of Pentacles, is you're shining and things are happening for you. And that's really exciting, and that's a great, amazing feeling. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. As always, stay positive and stay safe, and I will see you next time.